Hey Leo, welcome to your reading. Give me just a second. I want to make sure I did one thing. Okay, yes. Sorry, y'all. Sometimes, oh wait, oh, there it is. I'm like, where'd the video go? Give me a moment while I put my timer on. So, Leo, welcome to your psychic oracle fairy reading. Well, more like fairy blessings, but these are blessings you can use in the present moment in your everyday life right now. And also, I will say this. I have done a general September tarot reading. And these are all videos too. They're going to be linked down in the description box below. I have done that. I have done romance angel card reading, 2-card pull. I have done a full moon reading in Pisces for the collective, and I did a separate one for Virgo and the Pisces full moon just for them. So if you are a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, or you have your Venus in Virgo, or any other planetary placement that is in Virgo, definitely check out that full moon reading with Virgo. I will have it linked down in the description box below. And let me see, what else did I? Oh yeah, and I did a video on Mercury retrograde's best practices. So I'm like, yeah, your girl did a lot. And that one is going to have a downloadable PDF I'm trying to work on. You're the last video of the day before I have to like upload and put all of these things up and whatnot for you guys. So basically, all of that is down in the description box below. If you would like 3 free minutes with me, call or chat, please go ahead and go to my link down below. And if you would like to get a longer session with me, you want to pay my rate, I do work for Keen. You should be able to do that when you do the free minutes. So you can get 3 free minutes and then add on. But if you're crunched for time, you can also request a pay to view video with me on a card reading. So basically I'll make a video like this. The link will be in the little pay to view email, and there you go. So, yeah, I'm a busy lady, but I did want to go ahead and point out what I can do for you guys. And also, I'm going to give you the preview for the decks I will be using from now until October. And the best part is you guys can actually request these decks between now and November, the first week in November. So, just letting you guys know. I've got the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck reading, and I have the Disney villains reading. So these decks, not the reading, but I will be using them for also content in October. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to sign up on Keen so you can get my email list. And other than that, let's go ahead and get into your reading, Leo. So it's so funny, Leo, because I saved you for last, and it's mainly because y'all are always y'all always challenge me. Y'all always try my patience, but that's because my Chiron's in Leo. That's kind of to be expected at this point. I'm just like, oh, there you go. Like trying my patience again. And it's not really you guys in terms of the collective, but the Leos in my life, like right now, I don't know if, because Chiron was in Taurus. I believe he moved into, I'm sorry, he wasn't Aries. Maybe he moved into Taurus. I'm not really sure, but something happened between now astrologically and I would say last year and now in terms of Leos with me, because it seems like I get along with them really great, or I straight up don't, or like they end up causing me more stuff to add with my natal Chiron. So hold on just a second. So I'm trying to kind of figure out like what the deal is with that with you guys, because it does seem to affect me wanting to read for y'all because I always save y'all for last, and I'm sorry. It's just maybe it's because the Leos are always kind of unintentionally giving me heavy things to go through. Could be, but it doesn't mean this reading isn't going to be any less fun. It is, because my Leo clients are actually really sweet. I look forward to talking to those Leos, but the Leos in my personal life, I am like trying to like keep them at arm's length because we just keep coming at odds and at challenges with each other. And I don't know if that's just a thing currently going on between Leo and Scorpio right now. There must be some type of planetary alignment that's causing it, because I mean, this has been going on for like well over a year with me, and not just Leos in my family, but Leos like in my friend circle too. So that's why it's like, Leo, I don't know if it's an astrology thing happening with you and or with Scorpio or in just the collective. But I am seeing this in my own life. I haven't heard of any other Scorpios going through this issue though. Who knows? Oh, you got Ioni. That's good. But whoa. Okay, okay, Leo, I see you. You got a couple cards here. You got, okay, first off, you have four. I'm gonna save, I'm gonna do these two, and I'm gonna save these two for next time, okay? Because I normally don't take more than what you need, and these two are pretty important. So the thing is these are probably going to be at the tail end of the retrograde anyway. So just because usually when I do these for the month, but these are meant to help you throughout the whole month, and these are probably towards the end. So I'll see, but I'll keep them right here. Okay. But I know I did pull one of this. I think this was for Taurus. This one hasn't come up in anybody's reading, but it has come up for me many, many times. So I like this card too. It's a fun one to work with. Now, a blessing of Ioni is about physical connection. It's so funny because I was talking about disconnection, right? And it's interesting because you rule the fifth house of love and romance. You rule that area that is your domain. And that isn't just romantic love. I know a lot of people think that, but it also extends because love in terms of energy extends to our friends, our family, our job, our house, where we live, our the city we live in, what we choose to do, what our hobbies are. Like love energy, creation, art, like it goes into so many things. And a lot of people don't realize that. And I think, Leo, you do. But it's interesting that I was talking about this split between you and Scorpio, because Scorpio is about what you act on with that romantic love in terms of, sex and sexuality and the physical intimacy aspect, but also taxation, death, rebirth. Whereas you, Leo, are solely, marriage. It's not so much marriage, that's more Libran and Juno, but definitely it's how we love, who we love, how I show it, how I receive it, how I give it out, how it comes back to me. Like, because how you give and receive is sometimes completely different than how it is actually physically given to you. So, it controls so many things. But Ioni, in terms of being a fake queen, she is a fake queen of actual physical intimacy, but also emotional intimacy. I had to have a talk with Libra about emotional vulnerability, actually, and how she brings this out within us when we choose to be emotionally vulnerable and also vulnerable intimately with our partner. So it's kind of interesting that Ioni came up because I've worked with her. I've worked with her more in the Dragon Fae world because I also have Lucy Cavendish's Dragon Fae Oracle deck. And that is a completely different level of working with her than this. This is more 3D, fundamental connection between people that we love, but also love in terms of this is not just platonic, this is more or less romantic. So it's interesting because, I think the last time I read for you guys, this card came out, but it came out at your end and now it's at the beginning. So it's like you're learning some type of, you've almost come full circle on a cycle of learning about this card and partnership and intimacy and sharing. Because remember, Ione is a goddess of you choose to share your body because that is what you are choosing to do with who you want and who respects you because you want them. Okay. You want to do this, not because you feel forced, not because you feel coerced, not because any other negative emotion. It's not because of that. And if you were to share yourself with someone just to do it and it didn't gratify you and make you happy, Ioni is going to rebalance that situation. So it's kind of interesting how she is coming through, but she always wants you, just know whenever she wants you to connect with someone physically, it's because you want to do it from an emotional space that you are actually okay with making this choice, in terms of this is what you truly desire and what you truly want. Okay. So if you feel like, well, I want it, but do I desire it? You need to work the kinks out on that, Leo, for sure. Because if it's one thing Scorpio understands, it is I desire. It's kind of funny actually, because you know, the show Lucifer, he is able to pull out people's desires. You know, he has like this gift that he can ask people, what is it you truly desire? And they always end up telling him, and it comes from the heart. It comes from the heart's true desires, their calling, which is funny because you actually did get a blessing of the heart's calling at the end. So, okay, maybe I will read this. But you also have a blessing from a fairy determined to help you. So, this card is wonderful. When I first started working with this deck, this card is nearest and dearest to me because this is when the Fae really come through. They're like, hey, let me help you. Like, don't get me wrong, most of the Fae in this deck, they're all Sealy Court energies for the most part, and they always want to help. But this one goes above and beyond, and this is from personal experience. When I was having issues with a certain individual in my living space, and it just got to be so toxic that I bought this deck, and finally I started connecting to the Fae, like I have truly been wanting to and desiring to for a long time. Like I work with them, but I can't work with them to the extent that I want to because of where I live and who I live with. And so when I finally was able to do it with this deck in a way that was convenient, this was the very first card that popped out for me. And when I started working with this, the fairy guide that came to me is a fairy who is like going against all odds, but knows they're going to be able to help you. They have a will, they have a freaking way. And I love this fae so much because they go above and beyond this fairy blessing. They really do. And in fact, this one worked with me for like 3 months solid, 4 months solid, until finally it shifted out because we had done everything that this one could do. But just know this month you do have this blessing of Fae wanting to help you. And also it has to do with they are able to get in touch with the type of fairy magic that maybe you can't, but they can. Okay, they can help kind of transmute things. So we have physical and we have this energy with the Fae of an energy that is someone who truly wants to help us out of the need to know that we need the help. Okay. So you also have, I'm going to go ahead and read the gift of laughter. This is a fun card. Every time things get very serious, this card always pops up for me with this deck. And it's the Fae's way of letting me know that I need to go out and have fun and live a life. Because I sometimes, as a Scorpio, I have a stellium in it. I can get very overwhelmed with seriousness. And then there's this aspect of me that has a lot of planets in Sag too. So it's like I am serious, but I also desire to go have fun and be the life of the party. And whenever I know I need to be in that life of the party mode, this card will pop up. It'll pull me out for a second. And also, taking a break to just have a good laugh is a great way to recenter when you're overwhelmed or stressed. It's not a like long-term fix, it's very, very short term. But if you need to take your mind off something as a distraction, comedy is the best medicine, honestly, like depending on who you're listening to. But most comedy is pretty raunchy nowadays, but I think comedy really is meant to be laughter. And also now we have the debate of, well, that's offensive. You know, I mean, the truth is sometimes doing things that offend others, I mean, look, you got to apologize if you unintentionally offend someone. I think at least be kind about it. But, you know, there's this I sometimes when I need a really good laugh, I'll watch Robin Williams on The Late Show, like an hour's worth of somebody like taped it and recorded it and put it on YouTube. Because Robin Williams talks about, you know, in comedy, you always offend somebody, but like he apologizes before to the communities that he does offend. And but I mean, like there was this him and oh, what's his name? He's a Scottish guy who was the interviewer. Like, oh my God, they were hilarious. They were hilarious, but you know, that's the thing about it. They had that, they did talk about that. So if you're kind of like on the fence of not necessarily going into comedy, but using comedy, just know comedy is meant to be offensive in terms of it almost brings a realistic realization if you think about it, because you always get interesting insights from comedy that you can't get through tragedy, right? I mean, yeah, tragedy is serves a purpose, but it can't lift you up. It can't make you take a temporary pause. It can't, or oh, if you really want to watch someone who tries not to offend anybody, go watch Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. I love Gabriel Iglesias. He is so funny to me because he's funny, but he's not offensive. That's the person you should go watch. Hold on. That's the person you should go watch if you, but he also talks about, he tries not to offend people, but nonetheless, there's a time and a place. Sometimes I actually like to use sarcasm sometimes for humor, and people just love it. They like eat it up, like out of the palm of my hand, and I'm not really even trying. I'm just like, oh, so you have the emotional intelligence of a raisin, do you? Like to that person's face. I think most people find it funny that I just say that to a person's face, but the truth is my Mercury and Sagittarius can't help it. Like it can't. It'll be like, no, so really that's how you feel. And then that person will kind of be like, did you really just say that? And it's like, yeah. So do you have the emotional intelligence of a raisin or no? Like what gives? You see, and most people find that bit funny. I find it, that's where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a little too serious. And then I need to remember that, people have feelings. And that's where I have to kind of take a break and be like, not so harsh. Don't be an inquisitor here. Be funny, be light, be loving, be sweet. But remember, people have feelings too. And I feel as though this is important to say because a gift of laughter reminds us to be happy with others and to enjoy ourselves with others. You know what I'm saying? To there are times and places to be funny, but you don't have to do it alone. You can go be with others who make you feel accepted and loved and share a laugh with them. Also, lastly, I have a blessing of the heart's calling. This card is actually revealing itself to me in time. So where I'm at, I've had it in 3 reads, but I don't think it's done with its work. So I can tell you thus far what I have seen when this card has popped out and how it's applied to this reading for you. Because when this card popped out, the initial time, it talked about how I was going to embark on a journey with the Fae in terms of I was going to live a completely different life than what I was already living. Like, I mean, day and night. And that's exactly verbatim from the book. And I didn't believe it. I truthfully, Leo, I'm going to level with you. I didn't believe it, not because I don't have belief and love the Fae. That isn't true. I do, but because my life had been in such a stagnant place that it just never moved. And I was like, yeah, that's like when the hell freezes over kind of thing. I'm not really sure, y'all. I mean, I trust y'all, but like, I'm not sure, man. And and I love how I say that, right? And I get this card again in May, and I finally said that, and kind of out loud. And then, oh boy, has my life changed? Turns out, when you have an underlying medical condition that causes a non-malignant tumor, your life really does change. But it did change for the better because my health has improved in terms of that. There's other things that are in the works right now I can't necessarily talk about, but like, after I got the tumor removed, I had to take a month off. I had to take a month and a half off, almost 2 months, no work. Because where the tumor was, I had to literally sit on the stitches. It was quite uncomfortable. But I couldn't really sit certain ways, so I couldn't do these readings. And the strange part was I decided once I finally could kind of sit upright and, not be in pain, I was like, that's it. I'm gonna, see it just is like it clicked. I'm like, oh, okay, that was a change. But then I was like, what if I just go with the flow on what they say on what is my heart's calling? What is that? And I was like, well, I've always, wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do that. And so I was, for example, I'm an art historian. I have always wanted to work for the Louvre as an art historian. Like I actually have a bachelor's in it. And finally, I've looked for years. Once a year, I always look for a job with them. There was never anything I could apply for. And this year, I finally did apply. Even though I might not get it, I finally was able to take that plunge and do it because the universe allowed it. And then in the same day, I found a master's program to go to Italy for 2 years and then a doctorate program to go to right after that to Oxford. And it was literally in a 24-hour span. And I was like, whoa, holy crap. Like that was not what I was even expecting remotely. And then to top that off, like, like I get an email back from the Louvre, your application is currently being reviewed. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So yeah, so I might be moving to Paris, y'all. And honestly, it's what I kind of want, truly, because with my underlying health condition, I love how I say that and the card puts itself down. I need to be in a space where the food has no GMOs. Like food is a big factor for one of my underlying health conditions. It reacts like an allergy. And so it's like the to GMOs. I mean, my throat will close up, like jaw will swell. I'll have to go to the hospital. Like it's a whole process that it's very nerve-wracking to constantly live every day of, if I consume this, will I have to go to the hospital today? Whereas I should just be in a space where they don't have that level of GMOs in their food. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to be mindful of that. And yeah, like that's where I'm at. And so this card also, like I said, I didn't believe those changes, but now they're actually in process. Yes. Have they not fully manifested? Well, no, but that doesn't mean that they won't. It just means right now they're gestating as they properly should. Will they happen? We'll find out. Will they not? I don't know. Will I go on a separate path? It's quite possible. Anything is possible in this realm. And if it's one thing that the Fae are great at reminding us about, is that it's all up to you, but it's about what you need to do is follow your heart's truest desire and calling, because that's what you want to do. Stop doing things to make others feel better and do things realistically for yourself. A little selfishness, a little bit, you know, we still have to show compassion to others, of course, but it's okay to take the time to do what you dream. Okay, Leo? So as long as it doesn't hurt, harm, or, anybody else, okay? So just saying that, or destroy their lives. Other than that, I love y'all so very much. I gotta go. I will see you later. If you would like access to those readings, please go ahead and hit me down in the description box below. Bye.